In the heart of the endless north, where the world is draped in a blanket of perpetual snow, a lone wolf named Fenris led his pack. He was a creature of the wild, his fur as white as the landscape he roamed, his eyes the color of a winter sky. For generations, his ancestors had hunted these lands, their paws imprinting tales of survival onto the frozen earth. Fenris carried their legacy in his very bones, a silent promise to protect his family against the unforgiving cold. One night, under a sky shimmering with the ghostly dance of the aurora, a tremor shook the world. It wasn't the familiar groan of shifting glaciers, but something deeper, more ancient. A chasm, black and jagged, tore through the ice plains, and from its depths, a deafening roar echoed across the tundra. The pack huddled close, their breath turning to mist in the frigid air, their eyes fixed on the abyss. From the darkness, a colossal form began to rise. It was a bear, but like no bear they had ever seen. This was the Frost Titan, a legend whispered on the howling winds, a beast born of ice and primordial rage. Its body was carved from ancient glaciers, its claws were daggers of black ice, and its eyes burned with a malevolent, chilling light that seemed to suck the warmth from the very air. The Frost Titan had awoken, and its hunger was for the last vestiges of life in this frozen world. The great bear lumbered forward, each step a cataclysm that sent shockwaves through the ice. Where it walked, the snow turned to black, frozen glass, and the air grew so cold it felt like shards of ice against the skin. The pack scattered, their courage failing in the face of such a monstrous entity. But Fenris stood his ground. He was the Alpha, the Guardian. This was his land, his family. He would not flee. Lowering his head, Fenris let out a long, mournful howl that climbed into the heavens. It was not a cry of fear, but a summons, a call to the spirits of his ancestors, the great wolves who had come before him. He called upon their strength, their wisdom, their untamed spirit. The sky answered, the aurora swirled and intensified, its colors deepening as spectral wolves, shimmering and ethereal, descended from the heavens. They moved like a phantom blizzard, their ghostly forms swirling around Fenris, merging with him. Their ancient power flowed into his veins, making his fur bristle with a crackling energy. He grew larger, his eyes glowing with the same celestial light as the spirits that now surrounded him. He was no longer just a wolf, he was the embodiment of the winter storm, the spirit of the wild north made manifest. The Frost Titan roared, a sound that cracked the very sky and unleashed a torrent of icy breath. It was a wave of absolute zero, a blast so cold it could freeze a volcano solid. The world before Fenris was instantly encased in a crystalline prison. But Fenris, shielded by the swirling blizzard of his ancestors, was untouched. He was the storm, and the storm could not be frozen. He charged. A streak of white and silver light against the encroaching darkness. He moved faster than the wind, a phantom darting between the Titan's clumsy, thunderous blows. The bear swiped with its colossal claws, tearing great gouges in the ice, but Fenris was always a step ahead, a ghost in the maelstrom. The air was a cacophony of shattering ice and the furious roars of the Titan clashing with the ethereal howls of the spirit pack. The Titan, enraged by its failure to land a blow, reared up to its full, terrifying height. It opened its massive jaws, revealing a swirling vortex of ice and shadow within. It was preparing its final, devastating attack, an icy cataclysm that would extinguish all light and warmth from the land forever. Fenris knew this was his only chance. The heart of the beast, a pulsating core of frozen magic, was momentarily exposed. With a final, unified howl from the spirit pack, Fenris gathered all his ancestral power. He became a living arrow, a spear of pure, untamed will. He leapt, soaring through the air, directly into the face of the bear's freezing breath. The cold was agonizing, a billion needles piercing his very soul, but he pushed on, driven by the legacy of his entire bloodline. He flew through the vortex of ice and slammed into the Frost Titan's chest. His fangs, imbued with the spirit of the North, struck the frozen heart. For a moment, there was a terrible silence. Then a spiderweb of cracks spread from the point of impact. A blinding flash of light erupted from within the beast, and with a sound like a glacier calving into the sea, the Frost Titan bear shattered. It exploded into a billion glittering snowflakes, a shower of pure, white snow that gently fell upon the land. The raging storm of ancestral spirits subsided, their forms fading back into the aurora above, their duty done. The black, frozen glass on the ground thawed, returning to soft, pristine snow. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, casting a warm, golden light across the tundra, Fenris stood alone once more. He was exhausted, but he was victorious. The world was quiet, peaceful. The chill in the air was no longer a malevolent force, but the familiar, crisp embrace of the north. He raised his head and let out a howl, not of summons, but of triumph. It was a promise to the rising sun that as long as his pack roamed these lands, the warmth of life would never be extinguished. The dawn had returned to the tundra, and with it, hope. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story of courage and legend, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more epic tales from the wild. We'll see you in the next one.